Hi students, and welcome to today's and this week's live IELTS classes. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe. Hi Azhar, hi Sardar, Sonu, Reet, Samir, good to see a member, Hardik, hi, Kala, fantastic, lots of students in class on time. Today we are looking at the speaking section of the IELTS exam, which is of course the 12 to 15 minute face-to-face speaking interview that is the same for the academic and the general versions of the exam, and it is the same for the paper-based and computer-based exam. Okay, so this is the one section where everybody has the same experience. Again, students, these materials are coming from our world-class websites. We are proud to say that we have over 20,000 users a day on our websites and on our app learning for the IELTS exam. You can join us for the academic at www.aehelp.com. And for the general version, join us at gieltshelp.com. We separate the general and the academic into two websites because it just makes sense. You can also download our app for the academic. It's fully integrated with our website, so you can learn at home or on the go. Just search for Academic IELTS Help in your app store. Look for our shield. All right, students, so if you have questions, comments, concerns about the exam, don't be shy. Send me an email, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. Hi, Firdavs. Hi, Jaap Kaur. Good to see some more members in the class as well. And here's a quick look at the schedule for this week. So we're going to be looking at speaking part 1 today. Tomorrow for the members, we will have a class on punctuation. This will be part 2, looking at how to use semicolons, colons, quotation marks in your task 1, task 2 essays. And then we will have some listening practice and strategy for everyone looking at part 1 and 2. And then later in the week, we have some more writing, listening, and speaking for everyone. All right, students, just a quick peek at our websites before we get going. This is what our academic website looks like with the blue background. Click that big red button to join us there. Again, that's at aehelp.com. And for the general version, make sure that you're looking at the website with the green background. Click that big red button to join us there. Hi, Joanne. Good to see you in class. I know you're studying hard, and that's good to see. All right, so students, as we get started with our speaking part 1 practice and strategy, I would like to discuss a question that we often see, or a statement that we often see from students. Many times when we're looking at our emails and our comments on our YouTube channel or our forums, we see this kind of comment or something that speaks to this, where candidates say that they speak better than another person, maybe a person they see in a video or they hear one of their friends, and then they still get a lower IELTS score on their speaking. So I want to start today's class with the question, why do you think that some students feel that they have better English than other students, but they still get lower scores? What do you think are the reasons for those lower scores? So why is there this discrepancy, this difference? Okay. So Lean Alhamd says maybe it's related to the territory or where you're taking the exam. Especially Chinese students feel that the IELTS exam is more difficult in China. This is generally not true, okay? So it is not because of where you take the exam. So IELTS is standardized around the world, and the same marking criteria is used. So that's a false belief, okay? There's, of course, always some small differences in assessment, but usually it's very synonymous. So whether you take the exam in China, India, Colombia, Canada, UK, it's generally the same, okay? So Joanne is saying something interesting. Joanne says, lack of strategies. That's definitely close, Joanne. Can you go into more details? So, lack of strategies. What do we mean by that? Okay. So, yes, this is a reason. What do we mean when we say lack of strategies? It could be some nerves as well, Carolina. Maybe they're a bit more nervous. Being nervous, Carolina, often leads to a lack of strategies. What strategies are some students lacking that leads to a lower overall band score? Okay. So what is that? What's lacking? Hardik, I think you mean not thinking before speaking. It's not the grammar and vocabulary. So when students, Madi, feel that they're better than other students, it's usually because they feel that they have better pronunciation, they have more vocabulary. Yeah, so Carolina is saying that maybe they're not giving complex answers. Yeah. So yes, this is a reason. They are not giving complex answers. That's definitely one. Kartik Joshi, that's a very good one as well. So Kartik is saying that they're not giving appropriate answers to questions. And Amar Wadi is saying the same idea from a different perspective. Amar Wadi is saying they're speaking off topic. And that's definitely another reason why this happens. So speaking off topic, not giving specific responses to the actual question. That's definitely a big reason. Yeah. So Sudhir Bambu says they're lacking words. And Sudhir, you're onto something. Yeah, let's take that and claim that as a new point. So lacking words, which means they are not giving full answers to the questions. And that's definitely a big reason. You can have expert level of English, but if you can't show that to me in the 12 to 15 minutes because you're giving me just short answers, like, yeah, I definitely agree with that, I can't give you a high band score. Even though I feel that you have good language, my marking criteria says that I have to hear complex, complete answers. Okay, and we've talked a lot about this. This comes down to answer, explain, example. Okay, so simply put, oftentimes students are lacking information. All right, so very, very important advice, students, is that the speaking exam, as the rest of IELTS, it's not just about your English ability, but it's also about your ability to prove your English, okay? Keep that in mind as you go forward with your studies and as we do this speaking session today. So the IELTS exam is not just about your English level, but it's also about your ability to prove your English level. Okay? It assesses both your language and your communication skills. Now, in all fairness, of course, it's virtually impossible to get a true idea of someone's English level in just 12 to 15 minutes. We can only approximate, and IELTS does the best that they can with their resources. In a perfect world, you would sit with the examiner for a whole hour talking about lots of different topics. However, that's just not logistically possible. The exam would be too expensive and it would be very difficult to administer. Okay, so that's why it's up to you, the candidate, to prove your English. All right? All right, so Hamanpreet, a little bit off topic, but it's a good question. Hamanpreet says, what about the sentence? Can we ask them to repeat the question? Yes, you sure can, and they might repeat it. Hamanpreet, you can do that. If they feel that you have no understanding, they will just go to the next one. All right, students, so again, remember, if you feel that you have good English skills and you're getting lower scores than what you should, you need to reassess why that's happening and what is missing from your communication. Okay? All right, students, let's get into some warm-up questions. So, IELTS speaking section, you feel confident, you go into the interview room, you sit down, don't care about the examiner. It doesn't matter what they look like, who they are, if they look angry, sad, happy, tired, doesn't matter. They are there to do a job. You are there to do a job as well. All right, so you sit down, and the first question the examiner will say, or maybe the statement, is, please take your seat. What should you say when you hear that? So, when the examiner says, please take your seat, what should you say? Nimaljit says, thank you. Yeah, respond to it. So don't just quietly sit down and ignore that they just said something. Absolutely respond. So say thank you. Okay. It's very important that you communicate. You respond. Okay. And then their next question will be, may I see your identification? Now, that is the same identification you used on your application form. Okay? If you use your passport for your application form, then make sure to have your passport. If you used your driver's license, your national ID, make sure to have that. The ID must match with what you used on the application form. Okay? So, may I see your identification? Zainab says, certainly, please have a look. Carolina says, yes, here you are. Those are both good answers. Amar says, yes, please have a look and hand it back. Sure, they'll hand it back anyway, Amar. I don't think you need to tell them that unless they don't, but it's good. Satisfying Times says, yes, certainly, here you are. That's a good way as well. Practice the intonation. Again, students, this is speaking, so speak with me, okay? Make sure you repeat what you hear. This is speaking, so try to speak nice and loud at home, okay? Lots of different ways. Yes, of course. Please take a look. Okay? When you're practicing at home or with your partners, try different ways to say it so you sound natural, okay? Record yourselves on your cell phones. Listen back. Do I sound natural? Okay, check yourself, all right? Okay, then of course the next question, because they're matching you with your identification, is what is your full name? Again, they will always ask you these questions, so practice different ways to say answers. So what is your full name? Okay, be ready for that. Be confident, say it clearly, focus on saying it nice and loud. They're recording the speaking in case they need to remark it. Okay? Ayush says, my last name is Jangra, and first Ayush. You should call me by my first name, Ayush. Okay? Kartik says, my full name is Kartik Joshi. You can call me by my first name, Kartik. That's okay as well. Ferdov says, my full name is Nabiev Ferdovs. You can call me by my first name, Ferdovs. That's good too. Okay, so some nice variety of responses there. Yeah, you can say this, as you will see in my passport, if it's the passport that you gave them. My first, or let's go with surname. My surname is Smith, and my given name is Joseph. Please just call me Joe. Okay, so say this nice and fluently. All right, make sure to practice saying this nice and fluently. So again, as you will see in my passport, my surname is Smith and my given name is Joseph. Please just call me Joe. Okay, that works. Now, be ready for a couple more warm-up questions. The goal of the examiner is to make you feel comfortable, okay? So don't feel nervous. That's the opposite of what the examiner is trying to have you feel, all right? So here we go. Where do you live? Okay, it's a very common question. It should be a very easy question to answer. So just stay calm and give a clear, full answer. Aya Sham says, I live in Al Dammam. It is a big city in the northeast of Saudi Arabia. Very good, Aya. Nice, specific, clear answer. Good, that's what you should do. Heba says, I live in Alexandria, which is one of the most northern cities of Egypt, situated on the northeast tip of Africa and known as the Mediterranean Bride. Really nice answer. Okay, that's great. I'm very happy to see that many students now are learning the right ways to answer these questions. Specific and clear. Okay. All right. Carolina says, I live in Buenos Aires, which is the capital city of Argentina. Very good, Carolina. That works as well. Here's my answer. I'm currently living in Budapest, which is the capital city of Hungary and is located in the north central region of the country. Okay? Yeah, so be specific. Use these words of location like east, west, north, south, okay? You can give maybe even population. So it's a city of 3 million and quite popular for culture and tourism, okay? All right, now the next question. Don't overspeak. By the way, don't overspeak. Sometimes students speak too much. Careful about that. So, what do you do to relax? Again, a very popular question. Be ready for this, okay? What do you do to relax? MPC team in RN, I live in Cambodia, is too simple, okay? You need to be specific with the city, okay? Aya says, I used to go to the pool to swim some laps for an hour. Aya, that's not good grammar because it means that's what you used to do in the past, but you don't do it anymore. This is present tense. It means generally, so it means in the past, now, and in the future. What do you do to relax? You cannot use I used to answer this because it's bad grammar, and right away as the examiner, I'm making a mental note that you're making grammar mistakes. Okay, so careful, Aya. Akashvir Singh says, I generally watch movies to relax. Okay, Akashvir, that's good, but it's a little bit short. So that's the type of answer where people think they speak really well, but they don't show it. Okay, so you need to give me more information than that, Akashvir. You need to say, I generally watch movies to relax. when I get home from work around 6 p.m. for an hour or two. My favorites are documentaries. Yesterday, I watched Our Planet on Netflix. Okay, so nice and smooth and fluent. Give me more information, more detail. Generally, I watch movies to relax. Is a little bit too simple. Okay, give me information so I can gauge and measure your language. Okay. Bishal Karki says, I love to play sports like basketball, football, and many more. Again, Bishal, same, add a little bit more. Last weekend, I played a great match with my friends and scored 3 goals in a game of football. Okay, so give me a little bit more so that I can give you those higher band scores when it all comes to completion. All right, so I need a little bit more, students. You should be aiming for 2 to 3 sentence answers for each of these questions, okay? So let me give you that tip here in the lesson so that you remember this, okay? If the examiner interrupts you, don't panic, don't stress. It could be for multiple reasons. Just keep going the same way, okay? You should be giving 2 to 3 sentence answers for each question the examiner asks you. Okay? Think about it this way, students. A native speaker, such as myself, I would have no problem rambling out 2 to 3 sentences very quickly for each question that I'm being asked in part 1 and 3 and still be well within my 12-minute allowed time for the speaking interview. So that is your goal. Okay, your goal is 2 to 3 sentences. Okay, so what do you do to relax? Well, generally, I like to watch movies to unwind after a tough day at the office. Most of the time, a comedy, such as the new Jim Carrey flick I saw last Tuesday. Okay? So specific answers, all right? Here we go. Again, repeat after me, students. What do you do to relax? Well, generally, I like to watch movies to unwind after a tough day at the office. Most of the time, a comedy, such as the new Jim Carrey flick I saw last Tuesday on Netflix. Or on TV, up to you. Okay, all right. So I see there are lots of other good answers coming up. Students, if I miss your response, don't worry about it. I tried to catch different students at different times. Obviously, I can't catch everybody's response. Otherwise, we would be just stuck on one question for the whole class, okay? But nonetheless, it's very important for you to keep practicing, expressing yourself, and keep repeating. Not just what I write here, but also what I correct for your fellow students. Okay? All right. So after these warm-up questions, the examiner will introduce the actual topic of part 1, which deals with you. Okay? Not the examiner, not people, but you. So the examiner will say, okay, now let's talk about gifts. Okay? As soon as you hear the word gifts, what kind of words should pop into your mind? And this is a good strategy to practice at home. It's called word association. Somebody says a word like gifts, and you say the first 10 words that come to mind. What words come to mind? Charlie Sen, very good, a nice synonym right away, present. Okay? The more you paraphrase, the better it is. Steffi, Hong Lin, very good. Happy. Yeah, why not? Of course, we're happy when we get gifts. Okay. Birthday, Sokurab, very good. So the occasion where we receive or give presents. Okay. At the same time, you're visualizing. AJ Thapa says surprise. Lin Ahmad, same thing. Very good. So surprise. Okay, very good. All right. Yakub says holidays. All right. Madhuri says special person. Okay, holidays or celebrations, festivals, wish list. Sure. Those are all very good. So that's what you should do, okay? When you're getting ready for the exam, practice these word association games. As soon as this topic is introduced, think about as many words as you can, as quickly as you can. Charity, gratitude, Valentine's Day, marriage, anniversary, graduation, rewards, love, credits. Those are all great words, students, that you wrote up there. Fantastic. So that's what you should be thinking about. All right. So here is the first question coming at you. How often do you buy a gift? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for this. So how often do you buy a gift? Monica Lama says, well, I buy presents occasionally if there is some celebration. Last Sunday, I bought a gift for my beloved friend on her birthday, and she felt so happy. Monica, that's a really nice full sentence answer. Monica, just one question for you. Maybe some students can guess what that question is. So I'm going to read Monica's one more time. What do you think the question is in my mind, students, as the examiner, that I would love to hear Monica include? Thank you, Monica, for this example because it allows us to hone in on these details. So Monica says, again, well, I buy presents occasionally if there's some celebration. Last Sunday, I bought a gift for my beloved friend on her birthday, and she felt so happy. What would I like to hear, do you think, from Monica in her answer to just give it that extra little something, that extra little 0.5 band, maybe from that 8.5 to that band 9? Kate Taylor says, what was the gift for? Yeah, Zainab says, what kind of present? And Carolina says, what was the gift? Lean Alham says, what did you buy? Yeah, exactly. That's my question. What was the gift? What did you give your friend, Monica? That would be my question in my mind that I feel is unanswered. Okay, and that's kind of again, another strategy when you're practicing with your partners is after you give an answer, ask your partner, say, is there anything missing from my answer? Do you feel there is something missing? Would you ask me something if you follow up? Okay, in part 1, the examiner does not ask follow-up questions. That's in part 3. So you really want to kind of include all of the details to make the answer as complete as possible, okay? So this is a practice strategy, and I'll make a note of this for you as well. Make sure to practice this at home and with your partners, with your teachers, okay? In part 1, after you give your answer, ask your partner, do you feel I'm missing any information? What would you ask me? Okay. And another question you might want to ask your partner as well, it's the contrary, or it's the opposite, is, do you feel that I'm over speaking? Am I giving you too much information? Okay. All right, ask these questions. That way you can refine your skills and really get the exact answer that you need to get that band 9. Okay? So when you see a question like, how often do you buy a gift? Monica, you were very clever to realize that's a adverb of frequency. So always, often, usually, rarely, sometimes, never. That's what you need to use, or occasionally is good as well, frequently. So I often, or I frequently, let's paraphrase, purchase gifts for my friends and family on special occasions. Such as my beloved friend's birthday last Saturday, when I presented her with a gift certificate to a wellness center. Okay, so that is your high-level answer. Okay, again, repeat after me. How often do you buy a gift? I frequently purchase presents for my friends and family on special occasions, such as my beloved friend's birthday last Saturday when I presented her with a gift certificate to a wellness center. Okay, I'll read a couple more from students and then we'll go to the next question. All right. Zainab says, well, I usually buy gifts for my precious friends and family as I purchased a necklace for my sister when she graduated from university. Zainab, that's good. Just be really careful with the doubling of some words. So if you use the word usually, don't use the word regularly. Okay? Precious people is awkward. We wouldn't say that in English. We would say precious friends, family. Okay? All right, Vanessa Silva says, I usually buy gifts when I want to present a special person on a unique occasion like a wedding anniversary because I like to please and surprise them, such as my husband. Okay, Vanessa, you have a little bit of information confusion there, so careful with that. Okay, I corrected it. Just be careful in the future with the way you string your ideas together. Okay, Steffi Honglin says, I usually buy gifts for friends and relatives on special occasions such as their birthday and whenever I feel like offering a present of thanks. A present of gratitude, Steffi. We wouldn't say present of thanks, it's present of gratitude. Okay, or to show gratitude would be more accurate. All right. Okay, let's go to the next question, students. Again, don't be shy. If I missed your question or your answer, it's just because there are so many, but I will keep switching them up. So here we go with the next one. Who do you usually get presents from? Okay, who do you usually get presents from? Dipti Janatra says, generally, I get gifts from my parents. On my last birthday, they gave me a mobile phone. And that's all you need, Dipti. You don't need to say as my birthday gift because you're just being redundant. On my last birthday means that it was your birthday gift. So, Dipti, generally, I get gifts from my parents. On my last birthday, they gave me a mobile phone. And it made me really happy. Right, Dipti? Okay. Gurpreet says, I frequently buy presents for my friends and family on special occasions. Gurpreet, unfortunately, I would have to take band scores for you, from you for that. Because Gurpreet, this question is, who do you usually get presents from? Not who do you usually give presents to? Be very careful with that, students. That's the tricky part of this question. It's asking who gives you presents, not who do you give presents to. If you answer the opposite, unfortunately, you will lose band scores. Be very careful. Okay. For Dobbs, Nabiev says, I frequently derived gifts from my relatives and coworkers, like last time I got a golden wristwatch from my brother. For Dobbs, it's very good, except for Dobbs, we would never use the word derive in this context. Okay? I frequently receive. I'm frequently endowed. Okay, is another interesting word that you can use, but not derive. Okay? Not the word derive. Subaash Tamang says, I usually get presents from my parents. However, I love to get presents from my friends too on any special occasion. Subhash, I really like how you put that contrast in there with that subordinating conjunction. That's great. Okay. Let's see some more. Here we go. Okay. Marina Kurgin says, normally I would receive presents from my family and close friends. For example, on my 15th birthday, I got a tiny puppy that I dreamt of for many years. I was extremely surprised and thankful. Very good, Marina. What kind of puppy was it? A German Shepherd? Or another puppy? That would be my question there. All right. Let's go to the... Well, I'll give you my answer before we go to the next one. So, most of the time, I receive gifts from my wife and close family, like my parents and brothers. In fact, I just had my birthday this past July, and I was showered with gifts. My favorite was a new tie my wife gave me. Okay, so there we go. Repeat after me. Who do you usually get presents from? Most of the time is a nice expression for responding to the question of usually. So most of the time, I receive gifts from my wife and close family, like my parents and brothers. In fact, I just had my birthday this past July, and I was showered with gifts. My favorite was a new tie my wife gave me. Notice something interesting here, students. There's an expression here, okay? And then here, I'm using a passive voice, right? My favorite was a new tie my wife gave me. An interesting order of words there. All right, next question. Here we go. Which days are common to give gifts to others for you? Okay, pay attention to the details. Which days are common to give gifts to others for you? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for that one. Ram Chaudhary says, well, for me, any day is a good day to give a present to my friends or family, but the present that they get must make them happy. Okay, Ram, that's not a bad answer. It's a little bit unique. You need to be careful with that, okay, because these questions are fishing for responses such as birthdays or other celebrations like an anniversary, okay? Amira Hamed says, the most common days to give gifts is on special occasions like birthdays and graduations or weddings. Amira, it's not a bad answer, but one important correction, Amira, is you have to make it your own. The pronoun here is you. And when you see the pronoun you in the question, or when you hear it, which is very common for part one, you have to answer I. Okay, you have to use I, me, my. All right? Satish Poland says the holidays are a time of goodwill and expressing appreciation for others, but there's always the chance of an awkward moment when you receive a gift but have nothing to give in return. Satish, I can see that you have good English skills, but you're not answering the question clearly that I'm asking you. This is, which days are common to give gifts to others for you? Okay, so you need to start with I. Okay, a lot of students I'm seeing right now are giving third-person answers, so not speaking in first person. In this question, you need to give a first-person answer. You must give a first-person answer, meaning use I, me, my, myself in your answer. Okay, you have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be losing scores. All right? So you have to do that. If you speak in third person, it's awkward. Okay, it's not natural. So pay attention for that. Okay. Let's see. Jenny says, I would like to say some special anniversaries are common to give gifts to others. Again, Jenny, that's still third person. You're just saying when it's common to give gifts. Satisfying Time says, personally, I give gifts on any occasion. That's the right way, Satisfying Times. Okay? So, personally is a great way to start it, as Satisfying Times did, because right away when you say personally, if I'm your examiner, you're telling me that, you recognize that I'm asking about you in this case. Okay? So, here we go. Personally, I give presents to others on special occasions, such as a birthday or anniversary, as well as when someone close to me has achieved something great, such as graduation, like last June, when my younger brother convocated from university. I bought him a new laptop. Okay, so there's a fancy answer, but that's the level that you can take this to. Repeat after me. Again, students, which days are common to gift gifts to others for you? Okay, personally, I give presents to others on special occasions, such as a birthday or anniversary, as well as when someone close to me has achieved something great, such as graduation from university. Like last June, when my younger brother convocated from university, I bought him a new laptop. Okay, that would be a high level answer. All right, let's keep going. How has gift giving changed compared to a few decades before? All right, getting into these more tricky questions, you will obviously notice that I'm not asking you here. I'm asking a general question. So, how has gift giving changed compared to a few decades before? Joanne? Answer this one and I'll make sure to catch it, okay? Ferdov says, sure, it has transformed compared to 20 or 30 years before. Nowadays, one of the most popular gifts are devices because of developing technologies. Very good, Ferdovs. Yeah, that works. So immediately thinking about technology when we're thinking about change is a good idea. Juan Pablo says, present giving and exchange has changed mostly on the kinds of gifts people give. It is very common to give presents like technology, such as cell phones, tablets, or similar. My actual phone was given to me by my mom. Sure, Juan Pablo, that works. Okay, nice example. Great. Again, work on fluency. Get those answers out nice and fast. All right. Let's see. MD Farhad says, personally, I give presents to others on special occasions, such as birthdays or anniversary, as well as, okay, you're just repeating what I wrote, MD Farhad, but that's okay. It's good practice for the previous question. Rushdie D. Yusuf says, gift giving has dramatically changed from 10 years ago. Nowadays, one can buy something online and have it delivered to the person who will be chosen to receive the gift. Tour package as gift is the best. Rushdie, very clever answer. I was wondering when a student will think about that, is actually buying presents for people online, or even virtual presents like gift cards to Google Play, or some other online store. So absolutely, few decades means 10, 20, 30 years ago. Okay, 10 years is maybe a little bit close, Rushdie, because it's few decades, so like 20, 30 years ago. Okay, so the exchange of gifts has certainly transformed much compared to 20 or 30 years ago with the advent of modern technologies. Not only do people often buy gadgets for each other, like phones and tablets, but they also make these purchases online and have them delivered remotely. In fact, I just received a new electric razor from my friend in Canada through Amazon. All right. So here is again a high level answer. So how has gift giving changed compared to a few decades before? Repeat after me. The exchange of gifts has certainly transformed much compared to 20 or 30 years ago with the advent of modern technologies. Not only do people often buy gadgets for each other like phones and tablets, but they also make these purchases online and have them delivered remotely. In fact, I just received a new electric razor from my friend in Canada through Amazon. All right. So there you go. Okay, now for the last question, and while you think about answers for that, I'll read some more answers to this question. Here we go. If you could give a special gift to any person, what would it be and who would you give it to? Why? All right, while you give me some answers, I'll read some more for the last one. So, let me just get into the chat here. Joanne, where's the answer for the last one? I don't see it. I promised I would read it for you. Well, if you get it for this one, I'll read it. Okay. All right. Jagleet says, as nowadays people usually gift technology, such as mobile phones and video games, in the past, people gave items like perfumes and clothing. Jagjit, that's a good answer. I like how you compared the past to the present. Make sure to reflect the present perfect has. Okay. Tanya Fernandez says, in my opinion, the process of gifting has changed significantly with the advancement of e-commerce. Earlier, people would have to especially take time and visit shops to purchase gifts. Now, they can do the same through the internet very quickly and efficiently. Very good, Tanya. You're using some really nice words. I love how you got the advancement of e-commerce in there. Don't switch to second person voice. So don't use you in your answer. Keep going with people. Now people can. Okay, Tanya? Avoid the word you. Don't switch to second person voice. Okay? All right. Ali says, absolutely. The way of giving presents has changed. The way of giving presents have changed dramatically since the development of technologies. A decade ago, people used to give books as presents, but nowadays they give smartphones and laptops. Aliev, very good. I like it. Good comparison of past to present, good use of present perfect. All right, let's see what's coming up for our question at hand. So again, this is the question that we're dealing with right now. Let's switch to this one. If you could give a special gift to any person, what would it be and who would you give it to? Why? Okay, let's see what you've come up with for this question. Okay. Ferdov says, if I have to buy a special gift for my friends and relatives, it would be $100 because of its liquidity, and I have not thought about what he or she would prefer as a gift. Ferdov, I don't think you're answering the question because it's asking if you could give a special gift to any person, what would it be and who would you give it to? It has to be specific. So if you can't think of an answer right away for Dobbs, buy some time. So start with, well, that's an interesting question. Give me a second to think. I suppose I would buy maybe a new car for my best friend if I could buy any gift and money doesn't matter. Okay, so for Dobbs, buy yourself time so you can answer the question specifically. Okay. Marina Kurgin says, if I had a chance to give a gift to anyone, it definitely would be a travel trip for my parents, since they gave me so much love and the amount of opportunities are priceless, and I'm thankful for that. Very good, Marina. Where would they travel to? Okay. So Marina, maybe something like this. If I had a chance to give a gift to anyone, it would be a trip around, an all-inclusive trip around Europe for my parents, since they gave me so much love and opportunities growing up, and this is priceless, and I'm grateful for that. Okay? That's what I would do, Marina. Just, again, more details. So you're giving good answers, but reach for more details. All right. Let's see. One more. Paras Kumar says, I suppose I would buy a mobile phone for my friend Tarun because he doesn't have any smartphones and it is very essential. So I would like to give this to him for his birthday. Paras, very nice answer. Couple of word choice grammatical mistakes that I corrected there in real time, but conceptually, that's a very good answer. Okay, so here we go. Provided I have the chance to surprise anyone with a special gift, it would be a new Corvette for my wife because she recently got her driver's license, and I would love to express how I feel about her through this gift, and I'm sure she would be ecstatic to receive it. Okay, so there's my answer. Ecstatic. I think it's a C. Ecstatic, yeah. All right, so here we go. Students, here's the question one more time. Repeat after me. If you could give a special gift, it's a special gift, to any person, what would it be and who would you give it to? Why? Provided I have the chance to surprise anyone with a special gift, it would be a new Corvette for my wife because she recently got her driver's license, and I would love to express how I feel about her through this gift. And I'm sure she would be ecstatic to receive it because it's her favorite car. All right, students. So lots of information there for you today. Lots of great responses in the chat, everyone. You've done a great job. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Really, you deserve it. Everybody gets my double thumbs up today. A lot of fantastic responses. Again, students, remember, if you feel that you have good English, but you're not getting the scores that you deserve, assess your speaking. Think about why that is, all right? Ask yourself, am I not giving full sentence answers? Am I missing details? Am I not using complex grammar? What's going on? Ask yourself this question, okay? Practice this in partners. We do have practice speaking interview exams. You can book those on our websites. So just create a user account, either a free or a premium account at one of our websites, and you can book speaking sessions that assess the weaknesses and the strengths in your speaking. We're quite busy these days, so definitely get on that if you have upcoming exams. All right, everyone. Again, aehelp.com for the academic IELTS, GIELTS help.com for the general. And check out our app. Download our app. It's integrated with our website, Academic IELTS Help app. Look for our shield. You're very welcome, Lean. You're very welcome, Kenny. Jung Min, you're welcome. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Tomorrow, we're going to pick it up with more live classes starting from 13:30 Central European Time. That's a members chat class for punctuation in writing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for participating. You're beautiful people. Keep up the good work. Bye for now.